Hello everyone. I realize I am sweaty and scuzzy as fuck, and I was just out skating a little bit. It was a pretty solid session. I enjoyed it. Short, but solid. It's kind of what skating barefoot kind of results in. Sessions are shorter than I'd like. But yeah, this is a video that I've been meaning to make for a long time. I don't know why I haven't got around to it. I've been needing to, and I'm finally getting around to it. I don't know why I'm starting it off like this either, to be honest. I'm gonna go clean up a little bit before I keep going. So now that it's way less hot as shit, we're doing like an old school fucking pre-YouTube 2006 style reply video. And I feel fairly qualified to make this video for a couple different reasons. The first of those reasons is that I've been a long time TJ, the Amazing Atheist fan. I've got Imperfect. Yep, TJ did the forward. And I've got TJ's own book here, In Defense of Evil. From way back, I used to take this to school and read it. I was that kid. But yeah, maybe I'll flip through it again. It's been a long ass time. My point here being that I feel fairly qualified, I guess. Might be a better word. I can't be dick to figure out what the better word is. I feel fairly qualified to both talk to TJ and to talk on the subject matter of the video that I'm responding to, which is triggered Barefoot Civil Rights. I've also been a barefoot lifestylist for since 2011 anyway, and I've been involved with Barefoot is Legal since no more than a few years after that. And at the start, it was a pretty good thing. It was mostly a Facebook group and more or less a peer support group. Yeah, my prior issues with Barefoot is Legal and the impact that they're having, I don't want to talk all that much on Barefoot is Legal itself. I want to focus specifically on this video and the points raised in it. Barefoot is Legal is kind of a side thing to that for me. But yeah, I've been involved with that for a long time too. I've got the shirt, I think it's in the wash. I've got the sticker, I haven't put it on anything yet. Got the ID card. You can see I was one of the early adopters. So on the back has a little blurb and a QR code that you can use probably to get to the Barefoot is Legal website you were just on. And also got a stack of these to give out to businesses. And the first time I was evicted from the Barefoot is Legal group was more or less just for saying that even though these things are great, we shouldn't, as the group, as being a member of the group at the time, these shouldn't be painted as if you hand one of these to a store owner who is trying to evict you and they immediately decide to take your business. It doesn't always work that way. That's all I was saying. And the guy in charge of Barefoot is Legal didn't like that, and I got removed from the group for a while. That was the first time. There was one other time. I'm still banned from the Facebook group, even though for another few months anyway, I'm a paying contributor to the movement. So, figure that one out. Some people have told me I should consider it a breach of contract. I don't know. Now, I don't really want to dissect TJ's video. To be honest, most of it is just rude misconceptions that most of us in the barefoot community are completely used to already. But I do want to touch on a couple different points that he made in his video, and the first one has to do with this idea that Barefoot is Legal is completely run by one particular guy. Yeah, I still haven't figured out my computer setup so I can do these article reading and response videos that way, so this is what you get.
By the way, at this point in the presentation, I'd like to ask, what are the chances that this website is run by some lone crazy dude who's just a foot fetishist?
I think 100%.
100%.
I think there aren't two people in the world that would join this shit.
So this much is almost completely untrue. So, the truthful parts first. It is run mostly by one guy. You can see his name at the top of the article on Barefoot is Legal that they're referencing. His name's Proof Negative. When I say run, I mean is running the fuck into the ground and dragging the barefoot image through the fucking mud. But that's a different thing. In the barefoot community, we know him better as Dave. But yeah, one guy might be crazy. That's mostly subjective personal opinion. And yeah, as for what's clearly not true, I get every impression that he was absolutely not a foot fetishist. So, yeah, it is the farthest thing from a foot fetish group. Like, those places exist online, don't get me wrong, but Barefoot is Legal is not that at all. Also say nobody would support this. Well, sad to say, I supported this fucking twice. And there are lots more people who support it too. Check this out. Now there's 102,000 people that follow the Facebook community page for Barefoot is Legal. And the Facebook group for Barefoot is Legal also has 21,000 and a half members. A couple points throughout this. Both TJ and Paul, who really had nothing constructive or funny really to contribute to the video, I don't know why he's there at all. Both of them suggested that they don't think people in America have a misconception that going barefoot is illegal. They think it's just accepted to be against social mores, which, as someone who wears shoes, I can kind of understand them being of that opinion, but being someone who goes without shoes, I've experienced plenty of times someone in a store who is trying or in the process of removing us from the store saying shit like, look, I have no problem with you being barefoot in our store, it's just health and safety legislation, or like they think there are legal things obligating them to maintain those rules and policies that you reference in your video, and it's just, that's more or less where that idea comes from. There are more people out there who think that they're obligated to discriminate against barefooters than you seem to think, is what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of just the thing. Until you start living your life barefoot, you don't see how many misconceptions people really have. Like what Paul said about driving barefoot. Once you're used to it, it is way safer to drive barefoot than it is to drive in a fucking cheap pair of sandals, and no more dangerous to drive than in sneakers. Like, barefoot driving's fine. And almost more importantly, there are no laws against it. In all of North America, there is one state in the United States where you can't drive a motorcycle barefoot. It's one of the A states. But that is all there is for laws. If there are any new laws, they were added to the book damn recently. So I've addressed the idea that Barefoot is Legal is run by one lone foot fetishist. I've addressed the idea of some of the misconceptions, the driving barefoot thing, and the idea that nobody thinks that it's illegal to go barefoot, because some people clearly do. Is there anything else important or really relevant that I needed to go over in TJ's video? I gotta check and find out.
Most people are actually quite grateful for the layer of rubber between their bare feet and the floor below.
No, dude, shoes.
Most people, sure, and that's fucking fine. None of the people in the barefoot community have a problem with that, but that's why Barefoot is Legal and all these other barefoot Facebook groups exist.
Someone says something, it is okay to smile and tell them you are grounding. I guess that's their word for whatever the fuck this is.
Grounding?
Yeah.
earthing and grounding are kind of new agey ideas that have been around for a while, and to be honest, I think they were more appropriated by the barefoot community and not the other way around. I don't knock it, but like I don't really need the metaphysical aspect to that to feel the connectedness through my feet with the earth, and yeah, I get it. I just don't need to add all the metaphysics to it. Decent segue though into Barefoot is Legal's video that they're promoting for next month. I'll put a link in the description right down there. It's the Barefoot Hot Dog Challenge, I think it's called. Hashtag Hot Dog Challenge, something like that. I thought it had to do with hot dogs originally, but no, the idea is to go barefoot, to get people outside going barefoot, and to feel what it would be like to be a dog not wearing shoes. So that's that. It's down there. Check it out.
First steps.
Okay.
And this is tips and tricks for barefoot first timers. Okay, this is their sales pitch to get you into the barefoot lifestyle.
Yes, TJ, that is exactly what this is. But judging by this reception, if it's any indicator, it's a very poor one, and considering that Barefoot is Legal has had this focus on recruitment, which in my opinion is, if anything, gotten way more supporters than actual engaged members, then yeah, it's not a very great intro to the barefoot lifestyle.
Haggled? I don't think that's the right word. By parents, friends, and complete strangers about wearing shoes. People are excited to try it out in public. Are they? Because I'm reading this. I'm not excited to try it out in public. I wear shoes around my house.
So my first instinct was to actually suggest that you guys aren't the target audience of this article. The target audience of this article is barefoot people and those interested in doing it. But then I realized that, according to Proof Negative, the author of the article, you kind of really are the target audience of this article, because you're the people that he wants to get interested and bring into his Barefoot is Legal organization, so make of that as whatever you want. So the only thing really left that I want to talk about is this entitled or classist elitist attitude that TJ mentions he feels from this article from Proof Negative. Let's just see what he says.
In this thing sound pretty testy to me.
Yeah.
And demand that police come by. If the shotties do not want your money, the shotties?
They've got like a little derogatory name for those of us that wear shoes. What is this? The shotties? Fuck you, you barefoot hippie piece of shit. Hope you step on a rusty nail and die an agonizing fucking death of tetanus.
If the shotties do not want your money, there is no sense in forcing them to take it. There will be countless other stores that will happily run your debit card and tell the customers to come again.
Yeah, you know, there's happily shoe stores that'll run your debit card too, you fucking idiot.
You know, man,
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, would you need to have a cause this bad? You know what I mean? Fighting for the right to be a barefoot idiot?
Oh, man.
There's got to be something better for this dude to spend his time doing.
I guess not. All right, so that's a little overview of why you should go barefoot. I don't know if anyone out there is convinced, but if you are, barefootislegal.org is the place for you.
Yeah, thanks for watching, you disgusting shotties.
Wow!
So, I'm not going to deny that that is a thing in the barefoot community. Some people do kind of talk like that a little bit. Dave, Proof Negative, might be a little more extreme than most, but that is a thing. Where it comes from? Well, can you not kind of see the connection there? It's because the attitudes that are demonstrated in the Amazing Atheist video that are directed towards barefoot people get that a fuck of a lot. And especially within the barefoot echo chamber, people kind of let loose and kind of make jokes and that kind of thing. Now, when it kind of boils over from kind of blowing off steam with each other in the group or amongst peers into what Dave used as a very poor recruitment tactic, you can see how it's problematic, can't you? At least by that reaction there. Speaking mostly at this point to the barefoot crowd, the other people who want people to accept people being barefoot. But yeah, we need to be talking about these things. And Barefoot is Legal has a very fucking bad problem with censorship and authoritarian type control, and we need to actually be discussing these things amongst all the people in the barefoot community to actually come together as a coherent movement and message, or at least not be as mockable as, this. So again, I've been saying it a lot. Fucking thanks, Dave. So, I don't want to end this on such a negative note. I do want to highlight that Barefoot is Legal, in theory anyway, is a really great group. Barefooting as a movement and increasingly popular lifestyle choice is generally very welcoming, and body positivity is super important. We need to be building bridges between these type of movements, not splitting wedges and self-segregating like the current strategy kind of has been, with Barefoot is Legal being exclusively a group that talks about barefoot issues, which I can understand. Nobody wants to be co-opted. You want to stay on track. But we need to be networking, and we need to be growing as the Barefoot Civil Rights movement, and not just Dave's Barefoot is Legal Club. So yeah, that's pretty much what this video is about. I welcome all the feedback, especially from the barefoot community, in the comments on whatever platform I've decided to share this on. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful upcoming weekend. I hope you have a fucking good time. Peace. The fuck out.